Test, test. Yes, perfect. Everybody's here. Charles, how are you, sir? I'm sorry I'm late. I know Kevin needs to join. Just a little late. Yeah. Michael, how are you? Long time no see. Okay. Luca. Come on. What happened to my thing? I can't see the thing. Oh, perfect. I see it now. Luca is here. Kevin is here. Perfect. Okay, so we got a pretty good crowd today. Hi guys, and we're waiting for I think a couple more people. Guys, I apologize. I'm late. Apologize. I'm late. I just got to the office. So, without further ado, we'll probably get more people down the line, down the road. So, the new person today is definitely Luca, but we spoke to Luca. Luca is from Italy. So I spoke to him and another gentleman, Jatin, who's from Germany, sometime early this week. So we got covered some basics. Today I would like to focus more on the spectrum of Max is here, obviously. Max, what's up, man? So today I would like to focus mostly on the spectrum of commission fees. So the commission fees, this is something I've been mentioning for quite some time. It's actually perfect for our core group. Charles, Michael, Kevin, this is the core. And obviously everybody else has to hear this too. But I spoke yesterday night a little bit and today a little bit in the morning with Joel. And basically it's the same thing. So it seems like I mentioned the commission fees before. I mentioned that they could kill the trading profits, but apparently people cannot read my mind. So apparently I need to be a lot more explicit in terms of what I mean when it comes down to the fees, right? So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to cover the fees and how they could affect and impact trading. The reason why we need to be very explicit is because it's no joke. It's very real, and we need to make sure we get it covered. So, I mentioned that before, but let's do this again. Currently, at this point of time, both HeatBTC and Coinbase Pro are charging commission fees. The reason why those two exchanges were selected in the first place because they were not charging commission fees before March 2019. So as of 3 months ago, Coinbase Pro fees was 0%, and HeatBTC rate was, if you do a market maker order, so if you put in limit orders, the commission fees would be negative 0.01%. Negative meaning that they will pay us. After March 2000, so this is before March. After March AM, Coinbase Pro raises fees to 0.15%. And HeatBTC raised fees, I don't know to how much. I think also to probably 0.15 or 0.10. Eric, ladies and gentlemen. Eric, what's up, man? So after that, I'm not sure what the rate is, but that rate is something high. The good thing is that after the March, the HeatBTC rate of negative 0.01% got locked in. So we locked that rate in with Bquant. Because of our partnership with Bquant, who is basically has a partnership with HeatBTC, we were able to get that rate. Now, the good thing about HeatBTC is that that's not the rate that we can get a higher rate. So if our trading volume is big enough, we can actually get to negative 0.04%. Now, what does it all mean? Negative 0.04%. What the hell does it mean, negative 0.01%? So first of all, I'll talk to people outside of the US. I know you guys are inside. Basically, everybody here is either US or Europe, right? So it's not applicable to you guys, but let me just cover what guys outside of the US are getting and outside of European Union are getting. And then we're going to go to the Coinbase Pro and what's the plan. So we have a solution. We obviously always have a solution. It's just that we need to really make it happen. So if we are trading one trade a day, and that's what's happening right now, you'll say, Peter, we're not trading once a day. We're trading like Litecoin once a day, Bitcoin once a day, Ethereum once a day. Signals are roughly once a day to buy, and then the next day to sell, something like that. So on average, once a day. And you'll say, well, Peter, we have, like, if you do BTC we have LTC, and we have Ether, we're trading 1 signal per day. So therefore, we have 3 signals a day. And I'll say that's true, but that's not how our box will work, and that's not how you should invest your portfolio. So if you have $10,000 invested into the box, let's assume that of the $10,000 total, you would put, say, 4,000 into Bitcoin, you would put another 4,000 into Litecoin, and you would put 2,000 into Ether. Well, okay, to make it more realistic, let's do Ether, Litecoin 2,000 and Ether 4,000. Okay. So the signal, 1 signal per day will be for Bitcoin. So $4,000 will be invested into Bitcoin once a day. $2,000 will be invested into Litecoin once a day. And $4,000 will be invested into Ether once a day. So therefore, the entire portfolio of $10,000 will have 1 signal. Now, within that $10,000, there will be 3 separate buckets. Each one has a signal. But overall, as a portfolio of $10,000 portfolio, it has 1 signal. So you'll make 1 buy for 4,000, another buy for 2,000, another buy for 4,000. So therefore, you bought $10,000 once. That's why I say it's 1 signal per day. Again, even that apparently was not clear, so now I'm just clarifying everything. So we have 1 buy signal per day for the entire $10,000 on average, and about 1 sell signal per day for another $10,000 per average, right? So just making sure that's more or less clear. Yeah. So if you guys have questions in the chat, right? So now the $10,000 per day is being traded once a day. So therefore, we have 365 trades per day. Now, if our commission fees if we actually paid this rate, we paid, so the rate to us is not positive 0.01%, but negative 0.01% because we are receiving it, and it's called a rebate. So do you remember that word, rebate? Rebate means that that's not the commission fees. That's basically that's basically a cashback. Rebate is a cashback. So negative 0.01%. If you multiply negative 0.01% by 365 trading days, because crypto trades 24/7, 365 days a year, that's how much money we will be receiving. So we will be receiving 3.65%. So whoever is outside of the US and European Union who can do HIT BTC, well, and honestly speaking, European Union can do BQuant as well. So Luca, you can actually do BQuant. I can connect you to the person who's responsible, the account executive over there, Tom Slatter, great guy. So you can actually do, as an European Union, you can actually do BQuant. BQuant you cannot do 4 countries: US, Egypt, North Korea, I think, and Nigeria, something like that. Something like that. Anyway, so what that means is, if your strategy is flat, your strategy doesn't make any money, you will still generate 3.65% per year. Now, you will say, well, 3.65% is not a lot of money. Look at crypto. Crypto is going up like 200%. Yes, it's going up 200% this year. What happened last year? 80% down. Ether is still fucking down since July last year, okay? I actually, we finish up the stats. I really want to show everybody the stats because everybody's excited and euphoric about this upside in crypto. Well, compared to July last year, it's even. And Ether is still like 20 or 30% down, something like that. So it's even more probably. So, I mean, let's not get excited, right? Like compared to the highs, and I'm not talking about the January highs. I'm talking about July highs, last year, July, right? We're still not there. So 3.6. So you'll say, well, Peter, I'm making 200% this year. I understand. Well, when shit hits the fan next year again, or whatever, or even next month, who knows? It's nice to always have 3.65% guaranteed return per year, because again, hedge funds on average make 8% a year, and after that 8%, you also have to pay the fees. So after you pay the fees, you'll probably be up about 6%. And then these are the top hedge funds, top hedge funds like PhDs, blah blah blah. Like they can persuade you and to invest. We're making 3.65, right? So again, the math was like this. The math was like this: 1 trade per day, 1 trade per day, multiplied by number of days, right? Multiplied by number of days, and multiplied by rebate, right? So that's the math. So that's the formula: trade per day times number of days times a rebate. If you have 1 signal per day, right? So if you have let's put like number of trades per day, number of trades per day. Okay. So if you have 1 signal per day, multiplied by 365 days, multiplied by negative 0.01%, that's 3.65%, right? That's how much money we're gonna make. Now let's assume we make 2 trades per day. So 2 trades per day, and you're making 7%, right? I'll even do it like this: 1 trade per day, 2 trades per day, 5 trades, 10 trades, 20 trades. Let's just do it like this, right? I'll just do the formula really fast. Boom. Okay. So 1 trade per day, we're making 3.65. Our AI doesn't have to work. All we have to do is just trade. All we have to do is just trade. We don't have to have AI, right? I'm just saying. So now, when we make 2 trades a day, it's 7% a year. When we make 5 trades a day, that's 18% a year. When we make 20 trades a day, that's 73% a year. So your strategy doesn't have to make anything. It just has to trade. We just trade. And because of this amazing partnership with BQuant, guys can make 73% a year, plus the returns of say 30 to 50%. Now, the good thing about BQuant is that the 0.01%, that's the starting point. If you trade a lot, that's going to be 0.04%. So let's multiply these same numbers by 4 basis points, right? Look at these returns. So if you negotiate with BQuant, and the only way for us to negotiate is if you have a lot of volume, to say, guys, please give us these rebates, please give us that. Why are they paying us? They're paying us because we're offering liquidity. I need to hide this somehow. Because we offer liquidity, right? Because we are the market makers. The market takers, they charge, right? And they just share with us whatever they charge the market makers. So the market takers. So therefore, like if we are having lots of trading, therefore we offer a lot of liquidity, this is how much we're going to be making, just liquidity alone, right? So no matter what happens to the market, up or down, doesn't matter. The house always wins because we are the broker, kind of. So they are sharing us the broker fees. And the brokers always make money. The brokers don't care whether the market goes up or down. They always make money in commission. So that's how much money we could potentially make for our people outside of the US, right? Now, the reason why it's outside of the US, because at this point of time, BQuant is not allowing any US investors. However, they're looking into that. And what we could do, if this idea really works out and we're really positive about the security and stuff like that, because I cannot, guarantee the security of the exchange because I'm not the exchange owner, right? So I don't know what the security provisions are there. Plus, it's a little bit risky to allocate your whole 100% of assets into one exchange. Doesn't matter what that exchange is, because it could be hacked at all times. So, but if this kind of works out, right, and if these rates are real, then we could figure out how U.S. investors could also participate. Maybe we'll create some offshore fund where U.S. investors will be investing, and that offshore fund will be then investing into the BQuant. I don't know. I'm just like throwing options. But if this is really true, if these are the returns, there's no I don't see why. Let me just close this. I don't want to get. Let me just close Telegram. I don't want to get distracted. There's no way how we're not gonna try to figure this out for you guys as well. Those of you who are in the US. Let me just close this Telegram thing. Boom. Okay. Right. But that's the beauty about commission. Now people outside the US who are listening to us right now, Latin America, Russia, Korea, Vietnam, they'll say, hey, everything is covered for us. Everything is great. No, it's not great. This is BQuant and HEAT BTC. Right. This is just one exchange. It's not safe to allocate all your funds into one exchange. It's just not safe. It's just not smart. You have to diversify amongst different cryptocurrencies, and you should diversify amongst different crypto exchanges as well. So what are the exchanges we could consider? Well, I did some research today in the morning, actually. So Binance is another exchange that we could consider because it's great, it's safe, blah, blah. It's trying to be very, very regulated, blah, blah. But the commission fees are fucking high. Another exchange that I actually started looking into more and more is actually Bitfinex, which I completely avoided before. So Bitfinex, what I learned today is the commission fees is 0.1%. But if your monthly volume is $7.5 million per month, then your commission fees is 0. Right? So I'm actually looking into Bitfinex. So I'm pretty sure that if we offer tremendous volume, then that whole 0.1% will also turn into a rebate at some point of time. But for that, we need to really have an exclusive partnership with Bitfinex. And for that, we need to probably provide 50 million, 100 million a day kind of liquidity for them. But Bitfinex is a great exchange. I like it. It's been out there for quite some time. I didn't like the fact that they started banning everybody. But, again, if you have a partnership, and where we can do parts of the KYC and AML for outside of US and outside of European Union partners, then why not? All right, so that's another exchange that could be good because, again, once you trade 7.5 million per 3 months, your commissions rate is 0. You're not paying anything. And that's what I want to see. Now, it's not as exciting as the rebates, I understand, but zero commission rate is better than any commission rate. Now, so that's outside of the US. So therefore, for us to have anything, any conversation, any meaningful conversation with guys like Bitfinex and Bitstamp and OKCoin and BitHump and Corbit, we have to offer lots of liquidity. So guys, Russia, Vietnam, Latin America, Thailand, Apirat is our new believer from Thailand. We gotta have a call with him. You guys have to really start fucking promoting this thing, because the more volume we have, the better it is. Spoke to Paul, our leader in Korea. I mean, same thing. Like we're really thinking about doing BitHump or not. BitHump is the largest Korean exchange. It's called BitHump. BitHump. Great exchange, amazing exchange. Everybody likes it, but commission fees are fucking insane. It's 0.25%. It's fucking insane. I mean, before I was really positive about it, but now, like, the more and more we're getting closer to the release and the network, organization of the network, etc., and negotiations, the more I'm like, fuck, this is insane. This is fucking insane. What? I gotta go, like we sold some boxes, like less than 20 boxes right now in Korea, right? Because like Paul had to take some time off due to personal issues. But like, I mean, what I gotta go right now with 20 boxes and say, guys, BitHump, can you give me a fucking, give me a reduction of the fee? I mean, they're gonna tell me to go fuck myself. I mean, that's not like, I don't have any skin in the game. So, I mean, we're looking to 50 to 100 boxes in Korea alone just to start the conversation with them. We also got some really good, really powerful person from Corbit. He is the head of custodian services. So like the guy who controls the money, like probably like pretty much the most important person. We met him during the consensus week a month ago here in New York. So I got to reach out to him. I got to finally connect him and Paul, because Paul is finally available again. After he's like something happened to him, but now it's good. It's all good. And I got to connect him to Corbit, for example, as well. But in order for me to have any negotiation, any skin in the game with Corbit, I mean, the introduction has to be done. But then after this, we have to say, hey, we have this amount of volume per day. Let's go, right? So, guys, anybody, again, Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, Russia, Latin America, guys, sell it. You have to sell it. You have to promote it. You have to tell more people about it, because that's how we're going to grow in the network. Now, let's talk about the United States. So United States and European Union, basically. So what we have, well, let's talk about US. So we have Coinbase Pro and we have Gemini. So here's the thing. We also have Binance US, for example, right? We also have Bittrex. Here's the thing. These webinars will need to be published very soon to YouTube, right? So I have to become more and more politically correct, because I don't know whom I'm going to be dealing with going forward in terms of like the project. So, I mean, in my private conversation, I will tell you what I think about Gemini. Unfortunately, I cannot really share my opinion right now here, because I don't know. What if you're actually going to work with them? Fucking A. Anyways, I really like Coinbase Pro. I really like Coinbase Pro. Gemini, what I like about Gemini, these guys are making a very substantiated approach. So that I like. It's regulated. It's fully regulated, and therefore you guys are protected. I like the protection. I like when our guys are protected, right? Like if there's a hack, these guys will have to pay you guys, right? I think they're even FDIC insured. So if you lose up to $250,000, they'll have to reimburse you for that. So if that's the case, that's fucking amazing. What I don't like about Gemini at this point of time, very high fees. And the reason why there are very high fees, I think, is because there's not too much entrepreneurial spirit going on in Gemini. Coinbase Pro, what they did and how they were able to ensure, and they'll probably go, hopefully Coinbase Pro will switch back to zero fees. The reason why, you see how they waited for the entire 2018, they gave up 3 months in March, and then after this they said, fuck it, we're switching back to the fees for the market makers, because they're not making any money because crypto is not going up. From what I know, I was saying that before, I was explaining that before, how Coinbase Pro was making money. From what I know, I could be absolutely wrong, so do not take this for granted, but from what I know, they have a proprietary desk, meaning that they have a desk of traders who trade, and they are trading between OTC markets and exchange markets, right? So the standardized markets and OTC markets, and they are collecting that fee, the broker fee, between the OTC and the exchange. And because of the difference in the fees, they could before offer zero fees. But then obviously, market was tanking in 2018. Everybody's like, what the hell, blah, blah, blah. So now they are offering fees because that model of OTC is not sustainable apparently enough. So either they're raising profits just because the investors asking them to finally raise profits, or the profits were not as high before, so now they have to substantiate those not high enough profits with with profits generated from the fees that they will charge market makers. So long story short, they used to offer 0% fees for market makers. Now they're offering 0.15% fees. However, there's a schedule. So the schedule goes like this. Well, so many tabs, unbelievable. Coinbase Pro fees. By the way, congratulate everybody who is holding out there. Finally, you got some meat. But again, I don't like what's going on. I prefer to be, a high frequency trader because I have control. Well, anybody who does that has control. So this is the schedule of the fees. So it is 0.15%, and this is pricing tier for a month, right? So that's 30-day period across all order books, right? So it's 1 month. So therefore, it starts with less than 100 grand, so you have to pay for 0.15% of fees. Now, what is 0.15% of fees? People think, well, it's just 0.15% of fees. No, 0.15% of fees is what kills you. So if you have 365 days a year, and you multiply, so you have 1 trade per day, 365 days per year, and you multiply that by 0.15%, you have to pay in commission 54.75%. That's a lot. You'll say, well, crypto went up to, twice. Yes, but, by the same logic, in 2018, when it went down 80%, you would be down 80% on the crypto, plus you would be down another 54.75% on the fees. So you'll be like completely down. You'll be like down 134%. So you'll be like zero. Like that's it, bankrupt. 54.75% is fucking insane. I did the analysis because I thought that like the stock market is also that insane, but it's not. Like because I remember my decks when it was with the stock market, I was trading through Interactive Brokers. Great platform. I think I still have an account there. Great platform. Like really great. The cheapest, or one of the cheapest brokers. Well, you'll say that maybe what's his name? Robinhood is the cheapest because they're all for zero commission fees, but they have some contingencies. In Interactive Brokers, you pay half a penny per stock. So basically, what it turns out to be is that with with Interactive Brokers, the fee that I calculated is roughly 0.01 basis point. That's stocks. Obviously, if you go to Scottrade or Charlie Schwab or E-Trade, it's going to be options house, option house. Yeah, I think. Or Ameritrade, like all those brokers. We traded through all these brokers back in the day with stocks. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but Interactive Brokers offers this 0.01% fees. I got to tell you, 0.01% fees fucking kill you too. I got to be 100% honest. When we're doing our trading, and Max is here to remember, because Max was trading with us. Max, our senior developer, he was trading with me basically. We were just me and him, and I would do team view, and he would trade because I would be busy, and it was like blah blah blah. Like that 0.01% fee, that shit kills you. That really kills you. We had one genius idea. I still would like to to go after this idea about trading, like great trading strategy. I'm not going to share this with anybody here, unfortunately, because I think it's a great fucking concept. And we tried it, and it works. But it did not work, and that concept alone on stocks, any stocks, would generate you 50 to 70% a year. Great strategy. Great. Has nothing to do with technical analysis or fundamental, none of that shit. It's completely different approach. We implemented that approach, but with the fees of 0.01%, our monthly profits were zero. Like they were a little bit, not zero, but close to zero. So what I'm trying to say is 0.01% is fucking high. Obviously, we would trade numerous times a day. We would trade, I think, 4 times a day on the portfolio. So our commission fees would be this multiplied by 4, something like that, and then you multiply that by 250 trading days. Like that's 10%. But it's not entirely true. I think no, not more. Probably 8 times a day. Yeah. Oh, 8 times. Yeah. 4 to open and 4 to close. Yeah. So our fees would be 20%. And the problem with the 20% fees a year, you'll say, well, it's only 20%. Like, Peter, you're talking about 54.75 for crypto, and here it's talking about 20%. Yes, talking about 20%. Here's the thing. You have to compare, like, it's a lot of things, when you trade, a lot of things go into your head, right? Like, say you start trading in January, right? And say the January could be a bad month. Say you're up only 2% only, and your fees is the same, 2.5% every month. Now you're down. Let's say in February, you're down. Let's say you're down 5%, and the fees is also 2.5%, negative 2.5. And now you like to start questioning your strategy, right? So you have to have real balls, because we also traded leverage. We traded 1-to-4 leverage because we didn't have a lot of money raised at that point of time. So now your loss is not 5%, now your loss is 20%. I'm against leverage. I'm only for leverage when it's very calculative, which we had because we like before we implement the strategy, we were testing it for a long time. And then March, like for example, March you're supposed to make 10%, but you're not going to be there in March anymore because you're already down like all that money. Also, the fees were on leverage, so we had to pay 4 times the fees because it was on leverage as well. Crazy stuff, right? So even 20% a year is a killer. Complete killer to your strategy. With 0.01%. These guys are doing 0.15%, 15 times higher. That's insane. That's fucking insane. So obviously this has to go. It has to go. 54.75% just a fee. So if you invested $10,000, your fees per year is going to be equal to $5,500. Just fees. It's gone. It's gone. You don't have it anymore. It's gone. You don't see it. That's it. So now Charles is asking. Charles, can I ask this question in public that you're asking right now in the chat? Oh, no. So Charles is asking, if your average is 4% per trade, how is it hurting you that much? I got to be honest. 4% per trade is impossible. To which you'll tell me, Charles, it's possible because I'm making it. To which I'll say, it's not possible. Because 4% per trade, first of all, what's the time horizon of the trade? 6 months? Then sure. If the time horizon is 1 day or 1 week, it's just impossible. I mean, it's possible in up markets, right? Like 30 days, yeah, 30 days is totally possible. Yeah, if it's a 30-day trade, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, sure. Like you're making 4% in 1 month, absolutely. You're going to generate 50% a year, your commission is not going to be that high. Well, absolutely correct. My question is this, though. So Charles is basically asking, what if one trade happens every 1 month, like you buy it and a month later you sell it, and you generate 4% of profit in that 30-day period. So you have 12 months in a year, therefore your profit is going to be like 4% multiplied by 12 months, so it's going to be 48%, and your commission fees is going to be very, very low because you're only going to be trading once, beginning of month and end of month, beginning of month, end of month. So you're only going to have 2 trades per month. So you're going to have 2 trades per month, 12 months, and that's 24 trades per year, and you multiply that by 0.15, so your commission rate is only 3.6%. And your profit is 48%. Here's the problem, though. You would not be able to generate 4% a month. You're only able to generate 4% a month if you're holding it, if the market is up 4% a month. That's the only way. In stock market, for example, it's a little bit more possible because there are more like high selection of stocks. You have 10,000 stocks, right? You could potentially get, like if Verizon will move with the market, but some biotech stock might reap 4% a month. And then if you're very good at selecting those biotech stocks, which is really fucking unheard of, it's impossible. But the only way for crypto to go 4% up in a month is if the whole crypto market goes up 4% in a month. But if it goes up 4% in a month, it goes up 50% a year. I mean, it's a good year. Obviously, in those years of like bull markets, no shit, the commission will not hurt us that much. But I'm not talking about like this year, beginning of this year in Ether, I think we're up like 50% already, minimum. I really would like to run the stats, but I'm pretty sure we're up like a lot. And Bitcoin, same thing. Like Bitcoin is probably up 30. But is it going to happen next year? Like, for example, like this year is probably going to be very good. Is it going to happen next year? I don't know. What if the next year is sideways market? You're not going to be able to generate 4%. Like, think about this. The only way for you to generate 4% a month, if you're holding it for a month, so therefore the hodl has to appreciate by 4%. Right? So the market has to go up. So therefore, I mean, we're not talking about like usually when we're talking about like some uncorrelated returns, we're obviously talking about more high frequency trading. High frequency does not mean 20 trades an hour, but it means some significant like maybe like at least 1 trade a day, right? I'm also finally like I'm preparing this like all the statistics So I'll show you guys so that we're not just fucking like, while devs are working on the things. Like these are the things that we're gonna start circulating in the main group to make sure that more people convert, because we need more people. You guys need more people. We need more people, right? So everybody needs more people. Like for example, this one, want to pump and dump. I like that one the most. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that will ever go public, but it's a good one. I like it a lot. That's the whatever his name is. That's one. And another thing that we'll start posting soon is the statistics charts based on the actual scientific research. Eric says do it. Based on the scientific research, because you guys come to the chat, they don't know what's going on, to the group, they don't know what's going on, and usually it takes us about 3 weeks to to explain everything to them. I would like to minimize that time frame to 1 week so we can get more followers, more believers, so we can just keep growing, because we need to grow fast. And one in particular, one of them, I stayed until 3 a.m. yesterday. This research, I know this research for a long time, but I finally found it and finally made it. So I gotta present that with the link every single time so that it's all legit. So that's a research paper done on the Taiwanese markets. This is the statistics to everybody, right? So they analyzed 450,000 traders. 450,000 traders. Of them, 500 made good returns, 100% returns. 500 of the 450,000. So that's about 0.1% of all the traders. Are you one of those 1 point? And they said, by the way, in the research paper, they said that chances are how these people made money, it seems like they had access to confidential information. No shit. So it seems like those people who made that amount of money, they just connected politically. It's Taiwanese markets, right? So it's like, China. I mean, insider trading, basically. I mean, if you want to do insider trading, good luck. It's only 500 people who have this access to the insider trading. Great, right? So basically, it turns out that so there are some people who made money. So the amount of people who made money is out of 450,000 people is 6,000 people. 6,000 people of 450,000. So that's a total percentage of 1.3%. Imagine that stuff. 1.3% of people made money. So if you're gonna average out the first whatever, that's the statistics I took from the table. 10,000 people. The first 10,000 people, the top 10,000 people averaged out 13.9% a year. In Taiwanese stock market between 1992 and 2016. I think they say 1992 and 2006, sorry. 1992 and 2006. Yeah, 1992, 2006. Guys, you know what happened in China between 1992 and 2006? Fucking upside. Like tremendous upside. Like unbelievable fucking upside. Like you just had to buy and hold. The market would just do everything for you. And it would definitely be higher than 13.9% a year. China fucking changed. Taiwan changed in the last 20 years. And these guys only made 13.9%. The majority, 97.8% of people lost 72.3% on average. They lost 72.3%. So to everybody who Charles, I hear your point. I'm just saying that it's very unlikely. It's extremely fucking unlikely that 4% per trade is an average for everybody. Even if it's average for you, let's assume that you can actually do that, which actually, hopefully, let's assume you can actually do 4% per trade. I guarantee you that of the 205 people in our group, in Telegram group, you're probably the only person who can do that like this, right? Even if you can do it. So I'm not doubting your ability. I'm just saying, statistically speaking, our goal is not to make sure that we create one star trader. Our goal is to make sure we fucking, all 205 people in the group make money. That's what we want to do. Everybody who joins us, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have 10,000 people. All 10,000 people have to make money. Good money, not just 1% a year. Fucking good money. Good fucking money, right? So this is the statistics I would like to start posting soon, just as charts to make people will say, hey, because one guy was asking us in the group, hey, can I do 1% a day? And he talked to me first. I like him he's from Arizona, US. Great guy. I like him a lot, but he just not we need to educate him that no, it's not possible. I mean, obviously Felipe, the guy from Latin America, obviously he's making some tremendous fucking returns, but he's doing leverage and the market is good. I can only imagine how much money he lost in 2018. Probably a lot. So long story short, commission fees are extremely important. So therefore, we have to really be careful about the schedule to be selected. We have to select the schedule. Coinbase Pro is good enough to offer us this kind of fees. So when we're trading 50 to 100 million per month, the fees is going to be zero for the market maker. Now, The good thing about Coinbase Pro that I know so far, if you guys remember Robert, who left us, the hedge fund guy, which at least he's not wasting too much time anymore. That's good. He told me that he spoke to Coinbase Pro before and they gave him some amazing, like whatever, discounts. And I'm like, okay, so Robert, so what is it? And he sent me the schedule. And guess what? The schedule was fucking identical to this schedule. So I don't think he just knew how to negotiate properly with them. Long story short, the good thing about Coinbase Pro, they are transparent, right? So we see the schedule is good. So they gotta definitely respect the fee, the schedule, if we achieve 50 million per month. But what is $50 million per month of trading volume? What does it mean? So if you have, I tried to explain this in the group, but let me just explain everything again. So if you have $50 million per month that we need to trade, we trade $10,000 per box, right? So the goal is to figure out how many boxes, and we divide that by 30 days, because we have like we basically trade $10,000. So we trade $10,000 once a day for 30 days, right? So if you trade $10,000, which is $1, one day, once a day for 30 days, that's how much money we're gonna trade per month. So we're gonna trade $300,000 per month, but that's not enough because they're looking for 50 million. So the question is how many boxes we need. So the math goes like this: number of boxes multiplied by number of trades per day, multiplied by AUM per box, like 10,000, and multiplied by 30 days in a month. So that's the math, right? So at this point of time, if we do $1, we do $10,000 per box. Oh, sorry, we do one trade per day. We do $10,000 per box, and we do 30 days. That's going to be $300,000, right? Let me just erase this number here. Cool. Now, if you do 100, so that's $1. $1. What if you do 10 boxes, right? So that same number, but here's going to be 10. So 3 million, right? So we're getting close to 50 million. So long story short, 166 boxes, right? So if you do 166 boxes, we're going to get to very close to 50 million bucks. $50 million, right? Let me just do it like this. So that's our magic number. Now, obviously, the best way for us is to just introduce higher frequency. Instead of trading once a day, how about we trade twice a day, right? So that's kind of the table I was trying to provide yesterday. So let's say we do 2 trades a day. So now we trade at 100 million, right? Just so, right? So for 2 trades a day, we need to therefore only have 83 boxes to get to 50 million, right? And so on. So this is only 83 boxes now. And so on and so on. So I'm thinking that we're going to have, ideally, we obviously have 20 trades a day. For the 20 trades a day, how many boxes we need? I think we need like 20 boxes or something. Like, yeah, 10 boxes we need. 20 trades a day, we need 10 boxes. That's it. And you guys already have it. Kevin, Michael, Joel, who's not here, but he'll watch it. Obviously, Eric, you guys have it. Charles, you guys have it already. We already have 10 boxes. We have a lot more than 10 boxes in the US. But what I'm trying to say, we're not going to have 20 signals right away, right? Like, I think we're going to have like slowly, we increase to 2 signals a day, then increase to 5 signals a day. Plus, not every single person will want to do high frequency trading, right? So on average, I'm thinking like five signals probably per day, right? So, but it's also going to come when? By the end of the year. So, right, like in August, we probably have like 2 signals a day, right? Like 1.5 to 2 signals a day. So for that, we probably need about 83 boxes. After we get to 83 boxes here in the US, because we got a fucking, it seems like we open into the US. I think we need to open to the US. So the first 25 boxes we definitely open. And then after this, we probably going to open up to 100 or 200 total. So if you sell 83 boxes here in the US, right? What we do is we go call Coinbase Pro and say, guys, okay, so here's the thing. We say, so we have this, we have Kevin, and Kevin has 8 boxes. And then we have Michael, and Michael has B boxes, B number of boxes. And then we have Charles, and Charles has C boxes, and Eric has D boxes. And say Luca as well. Luca also does Coinbase Pro, and Luca says, okay, I want to do E boxes. Okay. So when we go to Coinbase Pro and say, Coinbase Pro, check it out. These guys are all our guys. These are all our people. Can we integrate these boxes together under one corporate account? We'll say that this is RoninAi umbrella. These guys will still manage their funds. Will be individual accounts. They'll at all times they are the only people who have control over the money. We never want that control. Fuck that. We don't want this shit. We just want this arrangement where we are the big corporate, and what we do, we give you details of Kevin, of Michael, of Charles, of Eric, and Luca to prove that they're our people, and they also confirm that they're our people. We put all of them under one umbrella, right? And let's assume that Kevin is making like, I don't know, 10 million per trade, per month per trade, right? Which is not 50, it's 10. And Michael is also doing 10. And Charles is doing 10. And Eric is doing 10. And Luca is doing 10. We're all doing 10 individually. So you guys are not enough for the 50 million. But if we unite you two guys together into 50 million, now you pay zero commission. All of you guys pay zero commission. So there are two options. The first option for Coinbase Pro is to say, so if you go to Coinbase Pro with this offer, the first thing for them to say is to say, fuck you guys. So the first answer is from Coinbase Pro is, fuck you. The second answer is, sure. So if they say sure, that's the best option. Because in this case, we're decentralized. You guys control your own funds. You guys having zero commission fees. That's great. Maybe if you get very, very high rates, we even try to figure out some rebate structure. If you're big enough, I think we can figure out big enough, more than 50 million. I think 100 million, that's where we really can talk. 100 million volume, we can really talk to Bitfinex and ask for rebates. We can talk to Binance and ask for rebates. We can talk to Coinbase Pro and ask for rebates, right? Because I would like you guys to also get rebates. Because why fucking not? Rebates is great because you guys offer liquidity. But if they say fuck you option, because they're corporate people, because they say fuck this, like if they get united together, they'll pay zero fees, but individually I have to pay the fees. Then we'll probably have to create some kind of investment club structure. Obviously, if you guys don't mind, investment club structure is going to be some legal structure here in the US where you guys are all parts of the investment club. It's not a hedge fund, it's just an investment club. And that investment club as a whole creates one corporate account on Coinbase Pro, and you guys put the money, blah, blah, and that corporate account is somehow multi-signature controlled by everybody. Problem with this is it's not centralized, decentralized. It's very centralized. So that's my only issue. But again, I'll fight to make sure that you guys pay zero fees. That's my only, I don't fucking care how, but we have to pay zero fees here in Coinbase Pro. I don't know how, but we have to pay zero fees. Decentralization with fees or centralization with no fees, I select centralization with no fees for you. That's the best idea. Fuck everything else. So that's basically what we need to kind of figure out, because you guys cannot pay fees. I'll tell you why. Let's assume you are paying, again, small fee, 0.01% fee. Fuck it. Not 0.15, 0.01% fee. Fuck it. Multiply that by, say, whatever, 10 trades a day, for example. Multiply by 365 days. So now you're paying 36.5% in fees, right? If you multiply, or if you make 5 trades a day, that's 18.8. It's still very high. Any fee is very high. If you're that big, we cannot pay fees. But my negotiation power can only be light up. Like I can start the conversation, right? I can call them up. I probably somebody I know works there, right? Probably, because I have so many connections on LinkedIn. I probably ran across somebody, like one guy that used to work with us on Blockchain Driven, the consulting company, now works at Kraken, right? So he's a very good guy. He's in the industry for a long time. I know him, very smart dude. I saw him on every single conference this year. Right now he's in Hong Kong. I can call him up and say, dude, I already prepped the conversation. I'm like, dude, I want Kraken to consider us potential rebates. He's like, no problem. I'm like, hey, we just need to get big. I'm telling you now, because I would like to talk to you 3 months later. He's like, sure, no problem. Coinbase Pro, same thing. I'll start the conversation. I'll say, guys, blah, blah, blah. We're looking for this. I would like to talk to you 3 months later when we have this amount of volume. But we have to have this amount of volume. So long story short, I can start the negotiation process. I can negotiate. I can really fucking push them, because that's what I was doing on Wall Street. I think we can really fucking push them. But we have to have this volume. In order to have this volume, you guys need to help us sell the boxes. So we're opening in the US for another 25. So 25 should be filled soon. If they're not filled soon, then chances are we're not going to open more in the US. Because the reason why we're opening more in the US because there's so much demand. And now I opened up to extra 25, and people have to start coming. So I think by the end of July of this year, so in a month, we have to fill 25 or 50 boxes of the US in the US, additional. Because if you do fill them, then we're looking roughly at 83 in the US already, with Kevin's and because Kevin sent some and then others. So we're looking at 83. We're looking good. We're really looking good. 83, like 50 million, I think is an arbitrary number. I don't think they're looking for 50 million. I mean, they could be assholes and say it's only 50 million benchmark. I don't really fucking think so. I really don't think so. I think if it's 25 million, they'll already, like, based on this schedule, it's 0.05, but I think they'll already start bulging, and they'll start saying, okay, fine. Because we also got to do promotion. We also got to tell that Coinbase Pro is a great exchange. Obviously, they give us discount. We got to say that they're a great exchange, right? I mean, why not? So to everybody, to the whole community, to European people, to American people, to everybody, to Canadians. We have some Canadians here. Not on this, not on the webinar, but we have some people in the group. So that's the commission structure. The commission structure is very serious. It's extremely fucking important. No matter what your AI is doing, no matter what the returns are, we cannot guarantee 200% returns a year. We can't. I think we shoot in for 30 to 50% a year. Obviously, in the bull market, it's much better, but then in the bear market, it's going to be a little bit worse. So we're shooting for 30 to 50% in any market state. The commission fees of this size will kill those profits. They will, anything but zero will pretty much kill it. Will pretty much kill it, or make it less exciting. Right? Let's assume that you guys are making 30% a year, which is huge. Let's say like somebody, like one of you guys, put 100 grand, and you made 30% a year. Right? That's great. That's $30,000. That's amazing. Let me put it $30,000. But let's say that the commission fees is 20%. So now you're only $10,000 up. Right? So now it's only $10,000 up. It's a little bit less exciting. It's a little bit less exciting. So obviously, when we were doing this in January, our whole forecast was Coinbase Pro is going to keep zero fees. And I'm telling you, if crypto will keep going up, I really hope it will. I don't know what's going on, but I really hope it will. Hopefully, it will reach 25,000, but 25,000 and start stagnating by the end of the year. I really hope so. Obviously, they might start dropping the fees again. That's great. Oh, Michael, thank you so much. This is amazing. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. So, I mean, those sales should start coming basically because we need to start prepping. Like, don't wait for people. Don't wait for people to collect the money. I know the box is not ready. Trust me, guys. We're finishing it up. So basically, the more and more I'm talking to developers, the more I'm realizing what really happened. What really happened is one guy who left us, that DB guy, he really fucked us over. So apparently, the whole timeline for the box was 2.5 months, and that motherfucker did not tell us that he was not doing anything. He was telling us that he was doing something, but he was not doing it. So we learned about that in April. So the other guy started feeling off for that guy. So now the whole 5-month horizon that we started, that we're spending so far on the box is because 2.5 and 2.5. So I thought the first guy left us, but did something. Apparently he didn't do shit. And he also fucked up, didn't help us with the database. So those issues last month, which actually are fixed finally. Knock on the wood. So do not wait for the boxes. So I know they're not ready, but keep us the money. Like, again, if you guys want refunds at any point of time, we'll just refund you, right? Whatever, right? Like, don't worry. Like, but if you have sales, then we have more safety to fucking just overpay a little bit more just to accelerate the process, right? So just like, if you guys have somebody, just keep selling it. We'll probably have some refunds from Korea, by the way, because because Paul took some days off, like 3 weeks off, and people were not part of the community, and that's why they're like, hey, so we gotta probably refund some people there, because I don't want any bad customer relationships or user relationships. I want everybody positive. So long story short, if you have any sales, send it our way right now, or whenever you can, because the more we have, the more confident we are that it's going in the right direction. We'll just overpay some people to accelerate the process. We actually hiring 1 or 2 more people right now for the box. Just FYI, to accelerate the process to make sure that it's all good. I put the ad finally yesterday, and we got to do interviews this weekend for some people. So long story short, commission fees are extremely important. Commission fees are extremely important. The way for us to negotiate the commission fees is for us to have skin in the game. I could be the front man to negotiating. I might need somebody's help to negotiate, but it seems like I could do a good job there. If not, obviously, you guys, so I'll just ask some Wall Street friends to help me out with them. But long story short, it's not that fucking difficult. I really think it's all about the skin in the game, right? They don't care about emotions. They don't care about this. They care about, okay, are you going to do the trading? If that's the case, then they're going to give us all kinds of discounts and stuff. Long story short, I think we're doing great overall with the community. I think we're doing not as well with the box. Everybody, all developers are aware of that. So it's under control. The most important part is database is under control. That's the most important part. Max sent me, I'll tell you when. I think he sent it to me at 5 a.m. his time. The file that I could potentially share that file with Charles and with Joel and with Dex. Dex is my friend, the guy who went to China, if you guys remember, to Shanghai. So I might need to start testing with them. Problem right now is it's doing apparently good with buying. It's not doing necessarily well with selling. So what could happen is we either got to fix that bug, or we're going to just send one box to Joel, to Dex, and to obviously to Charles this week or next week. I'm really pushing for next week better, because I would like to fix that bug beforehand. Because what's going to happen is we're going to send you guys the boxes, one box each. You guys are going to start testing it. And if it's all good, then we'll still need to update the software with the updates. So you might potentially need to open up the box. Potentially. Maybe not, but maybe you will have to. And that's why I only would like to engage like Joel and Charles, because I know Charles is really crazy in a good way about this whole markets, and I think Joel is very tech savvy, so he'll really like understand what to do. And Dex is also tech savvy, and he's crazy about this whole fucking trading thing. So these guys will just enjoy it, and I'll also be testing it. So for us, so that testing process is happening literally any moment. Once Coinbase Pro is good, right now the bug is the Coinbase Pro. Coinbase Pro has some really fucked up APIs. It's great. It's transparent, but it's kind of fucked up. It's a little bit misleading. Not a little bit. It's very misleading. It's really fucking misleading. So the other exchanges, HitBTC and Bitcoin, should not have those issues. BitHump should not have those issues if we gotta do BitHump. But in any case, it's really coming soon. So everything is here. Do not worry. It's all good. I think the most important part we should all be worried about right now is growing the network. Growing the network. So and I'll finish in 5 minutes, and that's it. And again, apologize that I'm a little bit late today, guys. It's just crazy as usual. Crazy morning. So right now, US community, English community, I think is doing pretty well. We have 205 people. None of them are fake. We might start introducing some fake crowd. I gotta be totally transparent with you guys. Usually the rule goes like this: 100 people, everybody has to be real. 101 to 1,000 has to be half and half fake, half real. And then 1,001 to whatever, it's 4 to 5 fake for each reel. So when you see like those YouTube videos with 1 billion views, keep in mind that 80% of that is likely to be fake. And Michael, you might know more about this stuff, about videos and stuff when it comes down to YouTube. But and Joel might also know more about this in particular, because I know you guys did some analytics in that ground. But it seems like if it's 1 billion views, 80% of that 800 million is fake. Meaning that bots, they purposefully paid bots to kind of make lots of views. Like there's some videos that have 2.2 billion views. It's fucking insane. I don't think 2.2 billion people in the world have computers. I mean, I know that YouTube might count, if you watch it for the second time as an additional view, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like fucking every single person watched it? Come on. So it's some of that shit is fake. So 205, all real. I'm guaranteeing you, it's all real. I'm not sure when the fake will start, but maybe when we get to 300. I actually wanted to start doing this after 100, but then it just started organically grow. So whatever. Latin American community is 81 people. It used to be 40 people just 3 weeks ago. These guys are doing amazingly well. They started doing the webinars. We'll have the second or third webinar this Monday. I will attend it. It's a fucking amazing what these guys are doing. These guys are great. They finally understood. They cracked the code, and we're gonna do more and more and more. And nothing but positive. This guy's great. Russia, we restarted the community. It's only 19 people right now, but people there started participating finally. It's not a dead group anymore. So I think we have good chances to start growing it very fast and very soon as well. Korean community, so this is Russia. Korean community opened up on Kakao Talk. Kakao Talk is like WeChat in China, is like everything, from what Paul is telling me. Paul is our Korean leader. So it has 5 members right now, but the group I think was created today. Like literally, like, I don't know, 3 hours ago at 10 a.m. EST. So I think Vietnamese will also start very soon. That I need to check. And Vietnamese and Thai, I mean, we're going to talk to Apirat. So Tri is our leader in Vietnam, and Apirat is our believer from Thailand. So if he turns a leader into a leader, maybe we'll do a Southeast Asian group, including Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, like Singapore, Malaysia, all those countries. So I think on that front, we're actually doing pretty fucking well. So what other groups we could start soon? I think that's enough. Like if we can do Southeastern Asia, that's really good enough for us. I mean, I really would like to start at some point of time something from China and Japan. I yet need to contact the people that I met at Consensus a month ago, which I didn't even have time to reach out because it was so busy with this everything, like all the details and stuff. But we got to get there. If you can get some China and Japan, oh my goodness, it's going to be even better. But this, I think, is a very, very good structure, because Latin America is not just like Latin America is actually Latin America. It has people from Venezuela, obviously. It has people from Argentina. It has some people from Chile. And I think we'll have some people from Colombia. Another group that might happen is maybe Portuguese for Brazil. But that is not on the horizon yet. So everything that is pink, like this is not on the horizon. This is not on the horizon yet. This is very good. This is blue. It should be blue. Right? So I think on that spectrum we're doing well, but we need to keep being more engaged and keep growing people. We have 205 people. We have a lot of new people there. We have to convert them to believers. They either have to become believers or they have to leave. We should not have people who just there because they're there. Like I don't want to have a group with 10,000 people where only 5 people talk, right? Like everybody has to become believer. Guys, if you can get to 10,000 people, or which say, I can't even imagine, 1,000 people are active, there's no fucking way we're not $1 billion project. And active, not like once a week active, but like once a day active. There's no fucking way we're not $1 billion project. Like 1,000 people are talking about us nonstop. In Telegram, in Twitter, and Facebook, like telling their friends. There's no fucking way we're not $1 billion project. It means there's no fucking way you guys not making money from the tokens. And obviously all the money reinvested into like AI. So I think this is doing good, but we should do better. We got through the worst parts of database crack. We got through the worst part of this motherfucker leaving us, this one developer leaving us and really fucking up the things. It's really not good. We're thinking about doing some repercussions for him, like some legal stuff. I'm actually very serious because he put lots of things into jeopardy and he has to pay. Unfortunately, like I'll have to do this. I think Max is, sympathetic to on this because he fucked us up big time. So we have to protect everybody. So yeah. Charles, last question, I guess, and we have to end. Will the box compound trades buy 1,000 for coin, sell 500 next trade? Will the box compound trades buy 1,000 for coin, sell for 500 next trade is 1,500 of coin. 1,500. Sell for 1,500 next trade is 1,500 of coin. Compound trades. The box will not be compounding trades. Well, the box, what it will do right now is this. So let's assume you have $10,000. No, let's assume you have, because nobody will have $10,000 right away. Nobody will put, I don't think you guys will put $10,000 right away. So let's assume you put $5,000 to trade per box. The limit is 10. Let's assume the split, just to make it simple, is 60-40. So 60 is BTC and 40 is Ether. Right? So what it means is the 5,000, 3,000 will be spent into BTC, allocated for trading, and $2,000 will be allocated into the signal of Ether whenever that comes in. Let's say after the round trip, this guy's got closed, and let's say it's up, and let's say now you guys are sitting on $6,000. somehow magically like BTC went up, Ether went up, overall six grand. Now, if you guys do not change the allocation stays the same. So now 60% of 6,000, that's $3,600, will be allocated to the next BTC signal, and 2,400 will be allocated to the next Ether. Yeah, it is compounding. Yes, it is compounding until $10,000. Yeah. There's another thing. What if you have a couple of boxes, like pretty much everybody here? Everybody has more than one box, right? How is that working? Well, it's also working like very well. Like we basically, that's also took like a week, a good week or two, and lots of perspiration from Max. Like Max fucking didn't sleep that. Like that was one of the times when he literally did not like pull all night or twice, I think, the same week. Let's assume you have $100,000 in your account, and let's say you bought like, I don't know, 4 boxes, right? They're just like putting out, right? So 10,000, you set up the first box, you set up the second box, third box, and fourth box. So technically you allocate $100,000 into each of the boxes. Okay. Each trade will have its own ID. And by the ID of the trade, we figure out exactly, so that was like, took another 2 weeks, actually not 2 weeks, 10 days. We knew what to do. It was just like really fucking, how to say, not stressful. What's the word? Like detailed. Like we had to be really detailed about this. And also some bugs might still be there. So we need to, that's what you guys are going to be testing, hopefully. That's why we only sending 1 box first. And then we're going to send 2 boxes. So you can test, like Joel will get 2 boxes to test. So like we would get the ID of the trade, ID trade 1. And then based on this ID, we'll figure out exactly what the size is. And based on that size, we would then, like when we need to close this is for the buy, right? When we need to close it, we'll refer to that ID and we would sell the amount from here. And it sounds like easy, right? It sounds like, hey, it's like Peter, it sounds very easy. Yeah, not with Coinbase Pro API. Coinbase Pro API sucks. It sucks. Guys, it really sucks. We really hope that other exchanges have it better. It's like, it's transparent, but it's so fucking limited that we had to go around. Like it's really fucking, like that. Sounds like easy, but it's not. It's really not. Because one box can buy BTC, another box can also buy BTC. We need to make sure that this BTC is different from that BTC, you know? No, Charles, yes, of course. He created the IDs for the trades, but the API for Coinbase Pro, the main part is closed trade versus open trade. That's the main fuck up part. Like it's not exactly, yes. Closed trade and open trade, that's really fucked up. So like we don't know like which is which. Like they don't really specify whenever it's pain in the ass. Exactly. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. I again apologize for being late. I really hope this was more or less educational. We're gonna start posting these things to YouTube very soon. In the meantime, the recording will be up in the next couple of hours or probably tomorrow. Cheers. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.